coming here tomorrow. It's a 5.5-hour inspection starting at 10, and they said, we cannot be here, so we're finding another place. So if you know a place where we can live for 5.5 hours
He's
tomorrow,
kidding.
we're going
He's
to
kidding.
Caris's. Okay, we have a home for those 5.5 hours. If that inspection goes through, this is a done deal. We have an offer. They've accepted the offer. It's a Christian couple who, when I've talked to them about this house, she was in tears both times they came here. They are Christians and they want this house to be used as a testimony. And I did not know this, and I'm sharing with you this because I did not have any idea. I went to a neighbor's on Friday because he had helped me resurface the tennis court. He gave me $1,000 to help resurface it. I resurfaced it, and Chris, your son, said it looks like Wimbledon. It was beautiful, but then it began to crack. The paint began to peel. And I went back to the people I bought it from, and they said, did you keep it over the winter? I said, I did, and did it in the spring. And they said, that's why. So it went for nothing. So Karen said, you should probably give him back the money. I went to give it back, and he said, are you kidding? We worked hard on that, and I gave you that money, and I'm not taking it back, but I'd like to have lunch with you. And this is what he said. And I don't say this in any sense of pride because I had no idea. He said, you folks have been pillars in the neighborhood. I didn't know, I wasn't sure whether he was a Christian or not. But he is a Christian. He told me where he goes to church. He's at a Lutheran church. And he was thanking me. He said, well, let's have lunch together. So I was blessed that they liked what was going on in this home. Number next. Sometimes they cry when they think of moving. True or false? When I've taken some walks lately down the paths, and I remember when we did those, we didn't do them right away. But when we started taking off the buckthorn, 4 people had warned me, and I was slow to get going on it. But then we went and we just whacked away for hours and hours and hours, clearing away the buckthorn. And then I said, okay, guys, now it's our time to clear the paths. And so we made paths, beautiful paths, from here all the way down to the lake, up there all the way down to the lake. So we've got paths. If you never walked on them, you should, because they're beautiful and they're well kept up. I got work to do this spring, but they're well kept up. And so when we're thinking about leaving, I wanted to walk. And as I walk, I know what we're leaving. I know it's very special.
Maybe we can still come on a walk here.
Well, because of the people that we're potentially selling it to, you pray for tomorrow. That's the key day. Tomorrow's the day. Paul and Karen are very thankful for the people at Lydia House. Paul thanks God almost daily for what it has meant to him to have them. So, is that true or false? It is true, because I got it in my prayer agenda. I'm not just making it up. Paul and Karen, together with the LT, believe that the best days for Lydia House are ahead of them.
Sure. Do you want to say also Paul White?
Anyone want to? No, I want to hear whether they think it's true or not. Okay, I heard a couple truths. We really do, because we've been praying about what it might look like ahead, and we have been to the barn. I've been to the barn 3 times. You know what we're praying about the barn? It's ours if we want it. So it's like God gave us something ahead of time just to get ready. If we need the barn, we've got it. It looks like a barn. You drive up and you say, that's a barn. You go inside and you say, that's a church. And it's a beautiful church. And the guy that graduated from the Masters Institute said, Paul, if you want it, it's yours. Wow. So we'll go in there and we'll pay for energy. That's what we'll pay
Love
for
bring
it.
energy.
So,
Bring it with us.
We'll bring energy.
so they have furniture they would like to either sell or give to Goodwill. They told the kids come in, and they're helping us, obviously. So Gabriel came in a couple days ago and put tape on all the things that go. He said every couch goes. The couch that you are sitting on is a good couch. That's a very good couch. That's a good couch. Not a very good couch, but it's a good couch. They're all going. I'm going to put them out in front unless any of you want, if you want any of those chairs. That chair is a very good chair back there. If you need chairs, or that chair is going. So I'm saying
That one's not a very good chair.
that if you, pardon?
That one's not a very good
not
chair.
a good chair.
I think it's
Okay.
kept up by a brick.
I'll give it to you
Underneath.
for $50.
Sure.
Okay. So all this is conditional based on the inspection. True or false? True. The Andersons will be giving away a lot of furniture. True or false?
Already have.
A lot of it's gone already. I've been putting things out in front, and most of it goes. Most of it.
The perk of living by a
And what
college.
doesn't, I take to the dump.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, May 9th might be the last Sunday here for Lydia House. True or false? True.
True or
May
false?
9th.
Okay, thank you, Paul. So to recap, the Andersons are moving sometime soon, possibly very soon. But even if this were to fall through, they still want to move. And they want to move soon. So sometime in May will probably be the last Sunday here for Lydia House. So just to recap. So we're saying goodbye to this place. Lydia House started here 10 years ago. It's always been here. Used to meet up there till we outgrew the living room, and then we started meeting down here. And so the ranch, this house, is a part of kind of who we are, but the church isn't the place. Amen. The church is us, right? And so we're going to continue wherever it is we meet. And God, in his kindness, isn't asking us to actually do an Abraham thing and just leave and go in that direction, and I'll let you know where we're going to go, which he could have done. But in his kindness, right when they first started thinking about moving soon, Steve called, and he's like, well, I got this place like a couple minutes from where you're thinking about moving to. Do you want to have it as a church? So it's called the Barn because it's a barn, or the Red Barn because it's green. And
Right.
no, it's red. And it looks very barnish on the outside. On the inside, the first floor kind of looks church basement-y. It's got a big kitchen, actually a lot of room. And then the upstairs is very surprisingly nice and churchy.
Very nice.
Big vaulted ceiling, kind of the opposite of the basement here in a lot of ways. It's big, plenty of room for growth. And so what we are saying is that we will be moving to the Red Barn. It's in Lino Lakes, Main Street and Lake Drive. So about 10 minutes north on 35. It's right off 35. 35 and 125th in technically Lino Lakes, I believe. About 10 minutes further north. And we're going to be there temporarily. It's a place where we can meet, and so that's where we're going to meet temporarily. And as we get, there's a picture.
There it is.
So there's the inside shot from towards the back of the sanctuary. There's seats and room for 150 people. So it's got plenty of room. And there's prayer rooms off to the left side there. And
That's the guy who gave it.
that's Steve. You'll meet Steve. He wants to, be a part of what we're doing. He's a good friend of mine. He's an awesome guy. He's very much us. Like, he's our kind of people. So when you guys get to know Steve, Chris can attest to that. He's met him a couple times, CJ too. So, you guys are gonna like Steve. And so he is letting us have the place for $1 a month. And so we are gonna be taking up a special offering, maybe next week or the week after, so that we can try to cover that $1 a month. And then if we decide to stay, and that's a if, and that's a we. That's an if and a we. So we can start meeting there. And actually, between now and then, sometime after Easter, maybe in a couple weeks, I think I'm going to plan like a Saturday thing for anybody who can go for an hour and check it out, do a little worship, get a little tour, and check out the barn just to kind of get a feel for it. And then we can meet there for a little while we pray and discern what it is the Lord wants us to do next. And that could involve staying there. It could involve doing something else. It could involve a hybrid of both being there on a Sunday morning and doing house churches. in different houses. Not this house, because this house will belong to someone else. And that would be awkward for them if we kept showing up, right? So we are going to pray, and we're going to see what the Lord wants to do. And
Karen
did you want to say more?
Yes. Karen wanted me to explain why in the world are we doing this, because it's been so wonderful.
Why are we
What-
moving from here?
Right.
Not
Why are we
from the
moving?
church,
Yeah. Why are we moving our out of this house? Karen's parents lived in their house until they were 91, and then their kids took care of all their stuff. And I said, Karen,
That's not what I meant.
well, I'm going to say it. We're not going to tell our kids, you clear this thing for us 20 years from now. We're going to do it ourselves so that we don't put that on because they're busy people. So I'm not expecting them to do that. So we're doing what we need to do now and finding a place that we'll probably live and die in. That's our
No, when
goal.
we're 91, we're gonna go move into,
again.
with our kids and move
Right.
again and.
and then they'll take care of us at their place.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Yeah.
So how many know this doesn't surprise God? Right? God is not thrown by, oh no, the Andersons are moving. Where's Lydia House going to go? He's not fretting and worried about this in the slightest. He knew this ahead of time, which is probably why he talked to Steve, which is why Steve talked to Paul before the ball really started rolling to say, hey, here's a place.
Yeah.
You know, you can meet
Yes.
if
And
you
when
want
he
to.
put it up, we are thinking of moving up to Lino Lakes, Circle Pines, because we're even closer. We're close to our kids now. We're even closer. We're right in the middle of them.
Yeah.
And then Steve offers me a property in Lino Lakes. That was the kindness of God
Clearly,
to say,
it's
"We're
clearly
looking out
God,
for you."
and it's the kindness of God because Paul's used to a very short commute. You know, it takes
right.
maybe a minute and a half to get down here.
Yeah.
And so God's
On a
not
bad day.
asking you to go more than 8 or 9 because
Right.
that would be,
He's still not always on time.
yeah, that's because he's a talker and that might still be true. And so it's really the kindness of God that
Yeah.
this place that we're at least temporarily going to be at is real close to where you guys are looking to live. And like I said, it's temporary. We'll meet there and we'll see how it goes. And there's no pressure to hurry up and figure it out. And there's no pressure to get on to the next thing. But it is going to be a change. It is going to be a little bit different. And if you're a little concerned about that, that's okay. It's hard to say goodbye to stuff. Amen? Anybody ever have a hard time saying goodbye? Anybody have a hard time with change?
Yeah.
Anybody ever have a hard time moving? So Karen has a big yes right now. And so that's okay. It's okay. It's part of life, though. It's part of the transition. And we're going to be good. And God's got this figured out. And we're going to go with him.
I'm not
And
saying goodbye to people, that's the one.
we're not saying goodbye to each other. We're
And
not
one
saying
thing
goodbye
I'd like
to
to,
people.
to hand off to you is I printed up booklets, and I printed up a lot of them, and they're good. I thought a long time before I wrote them, and I wrote a What About series. What about repentance? What about prayer? What about heaven and hell? What about demons? What about fasting? What about holiness? What about those doubtful things? I'd say they're good. And I want to give
They're
them
pretty
to
good,
you,
yeah.
and you can put them in your purse and give them to people. I've put some of them on here. I'd like you to take at least 100 eventually. I want to keep putting them out because I don't want to take them with me to Lino Lakes.
Could we
I
give
want
them to
you
other
help me
people?
distribute them.
Can you give
Yeah.
them to other
Could we
Yeah.
take them and give them to other people?
Please,
And could
please.
you put them in pockets or?
read them first, but then give them away.
So there will be many things that they are offering.
They fit,
to
honey,
give
in your
us.
back pocket.
Okay, I just was curious.
Perfect. So does anybody have any questions, thoughts? People at home? People at this home?
Yeah, I have a question.
Tim?
I'm reflecting on the amount of work it's going to take to. Oh yeah. Gosh. I'm the sound guy, and I don't even grab a mic.
Don't even grab a mic.
The amount of work, that it's going to take for us to move outside, because there's stuff we need to figure out, and that's at least a Saturday's worth of stuff to figure out if we start meeting outside here. And then it's going to probably be a couple of weekends for CJ and I to get everything moved over to the barn.
Yep.
I'm just, that's like 2 transitions. Is there something that's preventing us from meeting at the barn sooner?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I agree with you there. 2 transitions is probably 1 too many. Maybe we forego meeting outside here and we just move to the barn. I mean, the first Sunday in May or second Sunday in May is close to now, you know?
Yeah.
And I know I'll let you guys, since you know more about the tech side, figure out what needs to be done. But what we will let everybody know, hey, there's going to be a work day, right? And there may even be 2 work days. The barn could use some cleaning. There hasn't been a church meeting in there every week for a little while. And so I think it could use a little bit of cleaning, maybe a cleaning day and a moving day, or maybe it would be the same day. I don't know. We'll figure that out soon and let you guys know. We were planning on announcing right now, no matter what, that they will be moving soon, so we will be moving soon. But what happened on Friday was that might be very soon. It might actually be really soon, and praise God. It would be the kindness of God again if you guys got a buyer right away who wants to use the house for ministry, because that's what we all want.
And Gabriel said, this doesn't happen in real estate, but Dad, it happens to you. We did not put it out.
It's not listed
People
yet.
don't know, but Joe Protzman happened to share it with this couple because he heard they were looking for a house, and he said, well, I know someone, I think he's interested in maybe selling, and they call us on the phone and they say, we don't expect you to clean your house for us, but could we just come up and do a walk through your house, just as is? So they came up, they did a walk through, and at the end of it, I sat down there where Allison is sitting, and we talked with them, and that's when the tears started coming, when they heard what has happened in this house, what happened in this room. Some of you probably don't know. What I should tell you more of a history, but we've had over 158 people in this room, over young people.
At one time.
At one time, and then others out here.
Oh, well,
No, that was a Tuesday night communitas.
We don't even have the record for that, sorry.
Yeah.
That was over 100 too, though, yeah.
We had claim to that record.
I'm standing up here, and I could count with my eyes 158 people, and there were some people who were upstairs. So we had over 160, and I have stories about what that meant outside, because the police showed up every Tuesday for a while. I'll tell you the rest of the story later. I won't tell
Not
it
to arrest anyone, just to
No,
be clear.
But they were passing out tickets for a while.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't seen him for a while, and then they showed up again, and so I ran outside. I said, I haven't seen you guys for a while. Where have you been? And this is what he said. That police officer left. And I said, what does that mean? And they said, he liked to write tickets. And you don't? I said, well, we thought something good was going on here. I said, are you a Christian? He said, yes. I said, would you come inside with me? And he came inside. I introduced him to the young adults who were crowded in. I said, would you pray for this police officer? He's the kind we want to work with. So I could share more. But
We could have a whole story day. Maybe we should. So, sometime after Easter, maybe even the weekend after Easter, we'll let you know as we try to figure this out.
And we'll let you know after Monday, because Monday's a determiner. It could mean we could have 0 plans after tomorrow if
Right.
the inspection doesn't go through.
Right. Either way, we will be moving. And we have a place to move to, so we can do some cleaning and moving soon. And yeah, we'll keep you posted. Anybody else have anything? Anybody at home want to say anything?
How about outside of the barn? You said that we could also.
There is plenty of room. There's plenty of room outside the barn, so we could still do outdoor services if we want to. Absolutely. We'll hopefully bring all your outdoor chairs, and we'll store them there, and we can do that at the barn. So there's a lot of opportunities there, space-wise, more than here. And they have a parking lot and the whole 9 yards, and it's right in a neighborhood where there are real people in real houses like here. So it's not a strip mall or something. I mean, it's a barn, so. It's been used as a church for 60 or 70 years. Various churches, various ministries have met there. Way back in the day, it was a dance hall. Somebody redid the barn, and it was a dance hall on the top floor, like hoedown, you know, dance hall with a bar and everything.
Google it. I'll give you the link. It's very interesting.
It's been a number of different ministries, and it's been a number of different churches. It's been a conference place. It's still used for different types of meetings and some weddings and some funerals and that sort of thing. I would say they have about an acre, maybe a little more. There's some woods. You see it right off Main Street, so it's tough to miss. And they have a real sign. And then they have some woods. There's a pond near the woods in the back, and so it's all part of it. And he, like I said, he's only charging us $1 a month while we figure out what we want to do. I would like to, if we decide to stay, I want us to eventually be able to pay utilities, you know, and that sort of thing. And so, yeah, but we'll just see where God takes it.
Fun for baptisms.
Yeah, use the pond for baptisms.
Put on a wetsuit and.
Or 9 minutes down the road is our house, and we have a lake, which is probably a little bit cleaner than the pond. Yeah, anybody else have any thoughts? I know it's potentially fairly soon. This was going to be a sometime this year announcement, and it turned into possibly in a month and a half announcement. But that's okay, right? God knows what he's doing. He has it planned. I'm getting a thumbs up from people on Zoom. All right, so we can talk a little more about it next week, but we wanted to let you guys know.
Couples meeting right here now.
Yes, young couples are going to meet here now. So thank you for coming, everybody. God bless. If you have any questions, concerns, comments about the move or whatever, you know, let me know, and we'll let you know as soon as we know. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.